Hello, today we're going to be going over the Salem Grand Villa 42 FLDL. Start off here at the front. Manual crank jack. Propane tanks are underneath here, so if we pop this open quickly, take a look at our tanks. Twist to the left to open them, twist to the right to close them. If you get the convenience package, those will be filled for you. To switch between the tanks, you have this regulator here. Whatever way that arrow's pointing is whatever tank you're reading from. So if it's pointed this way, you're going to be feeding this tank. Twist it this way, we're using this tank. It turns green when there's gas in the line, and when the gas is not present, it turns red. So if you were to run out of gas, it'll turn to red. That's how you know it's empty. Your battery is going to sit on this rack back here once that is hooked up. And then down on the frame is the battery disconnect. When that key is pulled out like that, the batteries would be cut off, and then you just put it in, twist it, and that would turn the battery on. So if there were batteries, that would be the on position. Can't pull it out anymore. Walking around the side here. Tires will be filled, lug nuts will be checked, so you'll be ready for the road. You got an assortment of drains here along the bottom. So this first one is a gray tank drain, which means it's for a sink or shower. So pull that handle out and that'll open that valve up, so any water in that tank is going to be drained out. You got a couple more back here. Gray here, black on the right side here for the toilet. So this is most likely for the bathroom sink and shower, and for the bathroom toilet. Pull those to the open position to drain. Push them in to close them. It's good to drain your black tank first, which is the holding tank for your toilet. That way when you drain your gray, it helps to rinse your sewer hose out. Otherwise, you do have a black tank flush located right here. What that is, you hook your hose in there, turn the water on, and that shoots water into the black tank, helps rinse it out. Get anything that's stuck in there, helps push it out of there. This white one here is the fresh tank drain. So filling that fresh tank up, if you're staying somewhere that you didn't have direct water hookup, you'd fill that fresh tank up and use your water pump to draw from that fresh tank and pump to your faucets. And then this other drain here is the drain for the washer or dryer if you did add that on. Up here though, furnace exhaust is right there. It does get hot if you're running the furnace, so don't touch it. You don't want to get burned. Fresh tank fill right here. Stick your hose in there, turn the water on. It's going to start filling up. Make sure that the first tank drain's closed. There's tank level monitor inside so you can see how full that's getting. Otherwise, if you were to forget, it'll start shooting out of this overflow here. You know to shut that water off. Below that is the city water connection. So this is direct water hookup. Most people who have destination trailers are going to be using that. So if there's a spigot on your site, you'd run the hose to here, turn the water on, and that runs water directly to the faucets, toilets, everything inside. It is good to get a pressure regulator for the end of your hose in case that spigot is pushing high pressure. You don't want to blow those lines out and end up with a leak. Opening this door up gives us access to the residential water heater. So essentially, you're just going to want to have these valves open if you want the water to run to the water heater. So it looks like right now they're closed off, so we close the drain this way. That one's open, and this one is open as well. So if we were to turn the water on right now, this tank would start to fill up. You do have to wait for it to fill before you turn it on. So if we hooked all water into our city connection right now, this tank's going to start to fill up. You'll know it's full once you have water coming out of the hot side of the sink in a smooth stream. I like to leave the hot taps open. That way any air pressure that's built up while this is filling is released. And then you also have a pressure relief valve right here, so you could just let the pressure off from here instead of leaving those taps open while it fills. 50 amp power supply plugs in right there. Just line up the metal piece on the plug with the metal piece on the outlet. Should be able to get it first try. Just slide out back here. A little storage cubby tucked up under there. Sneak around the back. Cable satellite hookup right there. For if you're staying somewhere that offers that. Back door entry, outside speaker. There's the second outside speaker. Outdoor cable connection there. 2 outlets for if you're going to plug a TV in out here. Other than that, shouldn't be anything else on this side. So we will head in. So as we walk in, down here is the carbon monoxide and LP gas leak detector. That does draw off the batteries when the unit's not plugged in. So if you want the batteries to not die on you, I'd take the negative end off the battery. Even if you flip your battery disconnect, this still draws off the battery because it's hardwired in for safety regulations. So if you don't want that battery to die, take the negative end off. A couple light switches here. Ceiling fan switches right there. Just turn that fan on. And if we look down here, here's your control panel. So up here are those tank level monitors I was talking about. So fresh, you can see that red light come on. Those red lights go up as the tanks fill. So you have black tank, and there are 2 gray tanks here and here. It looks like there's a little water left in the gray tank, but that's not a problem. Light switches here. Turn the lights for the outside speaker on. The ceiling light in here, which actually this is just turning on the power to this dimmer panel here. So to turn the ceiling lights on, you just tap this, and you can see those turn on. You can hold it to dim, touch and hold. On and off is just the tap. Water pump switches right here. So if you're using that fresh tank, turn the water pump on. It draws from that fresh tank, pumps it to the faucets. If you're using city connection, the water pump's not going to do anything for you. Above that is your thermostat. Press this. You got your fan, AC, and then furnace. Once you get to a setting you want to use, temperature up and down right here. So yeah, pretty simple. Show you that the AC is working. And you can hear it turn on. It's pretty quiet, so maybe if I get closer you can hear it. Hopefully you can hear that. We'll power that down. On the sink here are your keys. Purple keys are going to be for that back door. These kind of house key looking dealio are going to be for the slider, and then these keys will be for your outside compartments. Got the dinette for travel. Just make sure that these straps are on there so that they don't slide around while you're moving. You can get your chairs. Recline by pulling this black strap here. Pops them out. You step and kick them down. For these blinds, be really gentle with them while you're moving them up and down. If you pull them down too hard, typically they are going to break. So you want to be slow, gentle, soft as possible while using those. This couch folds into a bed. To do so, take the back cushions off, set them aside. And you're going to lift up from here. Pull it out. Sometimes the legs flop down, sometimes they don't, but flop them out like that. And this lays down. And then you go to the back side here and fold it down. You got your bed. Really simple. Right here is the electric fireplace and the sound bar. So for the fireplace, again, it's electric, so it doesn't use your propane. So if you want to heat this place up without wasting propane, I'd definitely use this. Half hour, 45 minutes, you'll heat the whole place up. So power on switch right here. That turns it on. Temperature adjustment right there. Different colors right there. You can set a timer here. And then the heat, the flame colors is that switch. So really good at heating this place up here. The timer goes up to 5 hours, so you can have it shut off after a certain amount of time. Super easy. This one here, sound bar, powered on. Zone 1 is this speaker here, and zone 2 are those ones outside that we showed you earlier. You can change the source so that you can play the TV audio out of here. It also has Bluetooth if you wanted to connect your phone to it and play your own music. And this TV is a smart TV, so you can have access to the Disney Plus, Netflix, things like that. Pantry in here. See if we can't find packet. There it is in this drawer here. So TV remote, radio remote, and then fireplace remote. And then this packet here is going to be the manuals, user manuals, warranty information, all of that good stuff. Microwaves, pretty self-explanatory, just like one in your house. And then to light these, you push down, twist to the left, open that gas supply up, and while you're pushing down, press the spark switch right here. And that'll light burner. And then you got the oven. Make sure the gas supply is on. Push in. You can hear that spark going on. Once you see it light, then you can open it up to what temperature you needed. You have a timer here as well, which shows you right there. You just press in to start it. Turn that back to 0. And then, yeah, we'll just turn that off. You want to learn more about your fridge? I would consult the fridge manual. That's the best way to learn about it. There will be a fire extinguisher here when you purchase. We just take them out so they don't blow up or something in here. We don't want to have to deal with that mess. Just go into the bathroom here, turn the lights on. Sorry, there's some antifreeze in here. It's just, that's what the pink stuff is. But anyways, right there, sink, shower's kind of like when we're at home. Just flip this handle out and it'll come out the shower head. If we open up this is the switch for your water heater. So it's flipped up, that's the on position. When it's down, it's off. You always want to make sure that it's in the off position when there is no water in here, because obviously you don't want that water heater to get too hot and end up melting the lines, which would cause it to have a leak. So again, just make sure that that's in the off position when there's no water in the system. Pedal flush toilet, so stomp on this pedal here, that'll flush the toilet. And then you have the vent fan controls here. The vent, sorry, I almost dropped the phone there. Sorry, the vent is up here. So we turn it on and then hold the open switch. That cranks that vent open. Just make sure you close it if it's gonna be raining. Otherwise, it might get wet in here. Alrighty, let's check it out. Right here is the awning extend and retract switch. So if I were to hold it extend, you can see that this awning is going to start rolling out. You can't get it to go out all the way because we're going to hit this other unit next door, but I can still show you how to use it anyways. So this awning is going to be all the way out. When the flap at the end is facing straight down, that's when you know to let go of that button. If you keep going, you kind of roll it over itself, creates a valley on the top, and water can pool up there and then stretch the canvas out. And you don't want that. Once it's fully extended, you can pitch the awning by pulling down on the arm right here. You can also do that on that side as well. That'll tip the awning one way or the other so the water runs off. You always want to pitch the awning because if you don't, water will pool up on that canvas and stretch it out. You don't want that. Built-in vacuum is down here. Got the pedal flip right here if you're going to be sweeping. And then you have the vacuum hose attachment area there. And then the on switch right there to turn that vacuum on. To get to the bag, got this little hole here. Push your thumb in, pops it out. There's the bag. Only comes with the one, so if you throw it out, you got to get a new one. You can look those up at Road Vac to find replacements. The loft area, nothing really complicated up here. Light switches. You can also press on the center of the light to turn them on and off. Here's the other side. Really nothing complicated up here. There is an AC unit up here though, and the thermostat for that AC is located in the back bedroom, right on the wall here. This only has AC, doesn't have the option for the furnace. The furnace from the front one actually runs the heat all the way back here and to the bedrooms up there as well. Down here is breakers and fuses. Everything is labeled so you know what each one does. It is good to take extra fuses with you just in case. Don't want to be without power to something important. See what else I'm missing. We pick this bed up. There's some storage underneath. That's where your lug nut caps are held, and then your your vacuum hoses are stored. And here, washer dryer prep. If you want to add washer dryer, speak to your salesman about that, and we should be able to get that done for you. Important thing for winterization, behind this back drawer here is actually where your water pump is. So if you ever need to get that water pump, you just pull this drawer right out by pushing down on the tabs here. There's one on the other side as well. This drawer pulls right out, but don't know if we'll be able to see it, but tucked back there, see if I can get my light on there. You can sort of see that water pump back there. There's going to be an end of hose on there that you can run directly into a jug of antifreeze. And there's a little flip valve on that end of hose. You're going to flip that valve to face the end of hose. That way the water pump is now going to be drawing from the end of hose instead of from the fresh tank. And then you're going to stick the end of hose into your jug of antifreeze, turn the pump on, and it's going to pump that antifreeze to all your faucets. You're going to run it through all the faucets, down all the drains. Make sure you get it through the hot and the cold lines until it's completely pink. You don't want any water left over, and you don't want any air gaps either. So just make sure it's a solid stream of complete pink. That's how you know you've got antifreeze through the entire system. Then you're also going to go outside to your low point drains and open those up until it's completely pink running out of those. Once it is, when you've gotten antifreeze through the entire system, just make sure that your fresh tank, gray tank, and black tank are emptied, as well as cutting off the water supply to your water heater before you winterize, because you don't want to put antifreeze into your water heater, so you don't want to put that on bypass just by closing off those valves that I showed you earlier. But with all that said, I'm going to go outside, show you the valves for those low point drains. So it's labeled on the underbelly here, low point drain. Should be tucked up under the skirt metal here. Yep, right, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Right up there are the low point drains. So just open those up, run it until it's completely pink coming out of there. That's how you know you got an antifreeze through the entirety of the lines. And then just drain out these. Again, before you run any antifreeze, it's important to make sure you bypass the water heater. So to do that, just close off the valves that lead to the water heater, and then open this one up to drain that water heater out. Once that one's open, let the pressure relief valve up, and that will drain out any water in the tank out here onto the floor. All right, going over the winterizing process. Really simple on this unit here. You're gonna come out here, take this end of hose, stick it into a jug of antifreeze, and then twist this valve here to face the cutoff end of hose. Changes where the water pump draws from. So now the pump is gonna draw from the end of the hose here. Stick it into your jug of antifreeze, turn the pump on from the inside, and then it's gonna start pumping antifreeze through the lines. So you go inside, open up the hot tap of your hot and cold side of your faucets. At every faucet inside, do it one at a time. Run that antifreeze through the hot and the cold side until it's completely coming out in a smooth stream. There's no air gaps or water. Completely pink, both hot and cold. Make sure you get plenty of antifreeze down the drains as well. Do that at every single faucet, including the toilet. Once you've gotten antifreeze down those drains and through the hot and the cold side, then you come to the low point drains, which are underneath this skirt metal, which I showed you earlier. Take the caps off on both of them, and then antifreeze is going to start shooting out onto the ground here. Once it's completely pink coming out of those lines, that's how you know you've got antifreeze through the entire system. And once that's done, you're done winterizing. Just make sure that your fresh tank is empty and the black and the gray tanks are empty as well. Just before you do run your antifreeze, again, just make sure that the water is cut off to your water heater, because you don't want to fill this up with antifreeze. One, you waste a ton of antifreeze, and two, it's hard to get it out of here, and you don't want antifreeze inside your water heater because it can sometimes be flammable. Not a good combination there. So just make sure that the water supply is cut off and that the water is drained out of here. To do that draining, just open the pressure relief valve, and then any water in this tank is going to go down this hose and out the bottom. So hopefully all of that makes sense. If it doesn't, please bring questions with you to pickup date. We really want to make sure that you leave with every question answered so that there is nothing that you are confused about. But congratulations on your purchase. We hope you have a great experience in your new trailer.